Good day, America. Red Ho coming back at you again, and it's August, and it is another hot, humid freaking month. Hot and humid as fuck. Okay, so the reason why this episode is later than most is because recently um, we meaning my family have lost our father. He passed away a couple of days ago, and he's in a better place. He is no longer in any amount of pain, but the build up to that was pretty rough, so it was kind of hard to keep myself focused to do podcasts on a more consistent basis. So just to let you know, that's the reason why this is coming out as late as it is. But with all that being said, it's hot as fuck. Thank you everybody who reached out to me both on Facebook and of course family members and what have you in other social media sites. So I do appreciate that. But in this particular case, I just wanted to bring that up. You know, he was an Air Force vet in Vietnam, and he raised three kids. They're probably morbid as hell because I'm morbid as hell, but I figured that part out, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. But anyway, so uh, rest in peace, my father. You've been a rock for the entire family. Um, moving on from that, like I said, hot as fuck outside, hot, humid, sticky, sucks, terrible. But that's life in the Midwest. So if you're not from the Midwest, you better ask somebody. Okay, so the month of August into September is also known in this general area as fair season. Every little bitty rinky dink country hick town and the neighboring areas are all having their little bitty picnics. One being the seminary picnic was just here, and it was already passed. It was the first weekend of the month, and a lot of amusement park rides and off the wall kind of little bitty games and a lot of beer drinking. But I digress. I'm not going to go there because then I'll start getting really stupid. So, there's also another one. It's also known as the biggest little fair in the world or in the area in the Midwest. I don't know, but it is Altenburg Fair. It is technically it's in September, so I'm kind of preemptively talking about this, but it is kind of falling into that whole fair season. But a lot of the stuff that goes on at those fairs, they have a donkey jump. For God's sake, you take a donkey, you try to make it do a high jump over a fence. I mean, humans do that stuff, but now they're making donkeys do it too. Seems like something that country folk love to do. Hopefully, they're not doing anything else stupid to those damn donkeys. Anyway, but they also have truck pulls. Truck pulls is a big thing, not just here in the Midwest, but pretty much across the country in a lot of these little bitty hick towns. Um, so let's just go with that and leave it there. So we also have demo derbies. There is a Southeast Missouri Fair, also known as the SEMO Fair, and they usually have uh, car derbies, demo derbies, where they just beat the crap out of each other, and whoever's car is still running at the end wins, type of thing. I do have some classmates, friends of mine, that kind of stuff that are pretty involved in that kind of stuff. So good luck to them. Hopefully they can pull in a victory for that. Okay, so and of course all of these places have either local music concerts or they maybe have someone that's a little bit more popular come in to do a small show here and there. Maybe not like the really big singers, but pretty good in popularity anyway. So I don't know exactly what all proceeds, but they also have a I think it's Heartland Idol where they have a lot of local people, and it's just like American Idol, only is built in like the tri-state area or something along those lines. I do have a couple of friends of mine that are involved. I don't know where they are at in this, but they are involved in it. So good luck to them as well. But now, for any of you that have never heard of the watermelon crawl, if you go to one of these fairs around here, I have never seen it yet. And I say yet because if you hear this, maybe you can talk to somebody and say, hey, we ought to have a watermelon crawl. Let's just get a bunch of damn watermelon wine. And then everybody start doing the watermelon crawl. No, it's kidding. All right. So, but July, August is when you usually have a lot of watermelon, and watermelon is tasty as all get out. I've never fermented watermelon, but that'd been pretty freaking cool. Something to think about. So, anyway, so maybe they'll do a watermelon crawl one of these times. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I'm not trying to get any money from you. I'm just bringing it up to you. So, yeah, but here in the last, 2 or 3 weeks, with all the stuff that's been going on with my dad, my brother's been in town, and my sister's been in town, and we try as Irish people mainly, but Germans as well, try to keep things lighthearted. We crack a lot of jokes, a lot of memories are being said, that kind of stuff. So, and the stuff is funny as heck. I mean, constant laughing. Not that we're laughing at my dad's expense by no means. It's just trying to keep our mind from going insane from the sorrow of losing a loved one. But a couple of them that comes to mind here. Um, we were playing a lot of cards, whether it be we have what's called Fantan, we have Rummy. Well, I don't think we play spades, but I love. But well, we're sitting there, we're playing cards. I'm pretty sure it was Rummy, and I'm looking at my hand, and I'm like, damn. I look at my sister and say, sis, do you happen to have a tampon? Of course, she looks at me freaking weird as shit. The fuck you need a tampon for? I said, because my cards are fucking bleeding. I need something to stop it up. That got a big old laugh. I mean, something like this is the kind of morbid shit that we say in my family. So there's one joke that we kind of brought up during the whole thing. And of course, my wife, my daughter, she's 19. She's basically does a lot of the stuff on her own. So for her to be coming over to mom's house is a blessing. Not that she tries to stay away, just that she's usually busy working and that kind of stuff. So my wife, she just gets off the phone with my daughter, and she's like, um, our daughter is coming. Me, with the morbid mind that I have, said, you mean she's on her way, not coming, right? She's on her way. Sexual innuendo. Forgive me if you get offended by that shit. If you don't like that shit, don't care. So, but stuff like that. And then, of course, with all this um, hospital time and talking and with the family and that kind of stuff, we had realized that because we also, some of us actually like to sing. We love music, but we we were talking about this one particular song. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Go a Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys start drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. If you understand where I'm getting coming from, laugh your ass off. If you think my singing sucks, that's fine too, because you can always laugh at me. I don't give a fuck. But some stuff like that. So we spent a large part of roughly 2 to 3 weeks in and out of the hospital. I think it was just 2 weeks, but in and out of the hospital. When he at first went to the hospital, we thought he was a goner from the beginning because his blood pressure dropped and that kind of stuff. So I mean, we would actually, it's kind of sort of, but not really. We would insult him just to kind of keep him lighthearted, but obviously he was kind of in and out of it. Um, but what I thought was very weird, in my perspective, of course, is while he's sitting there laying on his bed and the family's around, the first thing he looks up and he's like, "Uh oh," saw a little brown wet stain on one of the drop ceilings, and I'm just like, "Dad, come on, you're not exactly in the need to be worried about this kind of stuff." But that's the kind of wild, crazy stuff that he was doing up until the time that he had passed, and you got to chuckle. You got to laugh about it. He was making when he was starting to feel a little bit better prior to getting completely worse. He would make a few jokes here and there as well. So it's not like we were morbidly messing with him and that kind of stuff. He was in the same boat as us, just doing the whole chuckling, what little talking he could. At least right there towards the end. But salute to him. I love him to death, and I know the next couple of days is going to be really really rough because um, we haven't had his funeral procession yet, and I remember from previous funerals that I've been to, especially when it involves military ceremonies, 21 gun salute, playing taps. That's when it hits me the most because I'm an army guy myself. I expect to have those kind of ceremonial things as well on my passing, but um, he never really talked about being having these military type of things. But when you don't talk about it, it's like he wants it. So we do that, and we like to have fun. So uh, we're going to do the whole commemoration thing. We're going to, laugh, joke, reminisce, and and it's like a celebration of life, but it's not really a celebration of life, not officially celebration of life, but it's awesome. It really is. So so the reveal. So changing subject a little bit because I don't want to start crying on set here, but there has been a reveal of the new play that's coming out in January. And the new play is called, drumroll please. No? Yeah? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? A Murder Announced. It's a murder mystery. I did see some preview stuff, a little bit of the play. Um, and it's not too bad. It might be just me. Some of your theatrical gurus might think it'd be a really, really cool play to come watch. There not a whole lot of people involved in this particular play as far as actors are concerned. So my chances of getting a role has dwindled, but I don't know what's going to become of it. Uh, but in reality, I'm going to go to the play no matter what. I'm going to promote this play, whether I get a part in it or not, because this community has such wonderful actors and actresses just locally that love to do it for just doing it. They don't do it for money. So, and myself included, I enjoy doing those kinds of things. Fester was an amazing role. Those kind of roles is more my speed, but yeah, I loved it to death. It was great. Um, but if for some reason I decide either not to try out for one of those positions or I don't get a part because they have a lot of other great actors involved, then hey, no sweat off my butt. I mean, I'll do a lot of backstage stuff or maybe help out with the set design this time, just because I like to be involved. So, but yeah, come out and see us the end of January. I don't remember the exact dates, but that will be coming. In the next few months, I'll be promoting the piss out of it. Another thing I wanted to also bring up is I want to try to do more frequent podcasts. I want to perhaps get into doing like bi-weekly podcasts and do those kinds of things. So hopefully, if everything goes well, um, things will progress a little bit more. I've also noticed that I do a lot of this stuff with little to no cost at all. And so I might actually consider putting a little bit more uh, money into it to see what kind of output I can come up with later on. Um, it's it's a fun time. I enjoy it. I mean, honestly, if you want to tell some jokes, have like an open mic night on this son of a bitch, I don't care. We can have the banter, the back and forth, and just do some wild, crazy shit other than pornographic stuff because I don't. No, we don't do that. I'm married. I love you. I'm married. Uh, just fucking around. Okay. Anyway, so long story short, um, if you do have any ideas or if you want to, you know, reach out to me and say, hey, can I do a podcast with you? I think we can kind of get some jokey stuff going on. I might consider doing maybe a live so that way we can get the joking stuff done and maybe promote that a little bit more. I'm not sure how I would go about doing it live moving forward. We'll see how that goes. But thank you very much for being involved. Like, subscribe, share to both YouTube, Facebook. I do have it on TikTok as well. I know some people who have Instagram accounts that don't have any of the other ones, whatever. I usually send those out to them in a more private setting, but you know, pass it on to your friends. Tell them, hey, this is one funny son of a gun, and we'll have lots of fun and just keep going. Um, so until next time, good day, America.